Namaste and welcome. I'm Madhavi Adimulam, founder of Ananya Child Development Center. It's truly a privilege to connect with you today. I want to dedicate this episode to a topic that often sits quietly in the background, sometimes even completely ignored, amidst the whirlwind of raising a child with unique developmental needs. Today, I want to talk directly to you, the mothers on this incredible, demanding, and often isolating journey. We are going to talk about self care. Now, I know what might be happening as you hear those words. Perhaps a slight tightening in your chest, maybe an internal voice whispering, self care? Seriously? When? Or perhaps a wave of guilt washes over you. That familiar feeling that focusing on yourself is somehow selfish? A luxury you can't afford when your child needs so much. Maybe it even feels like another impossible expectation piled onto an already overwhelming list. I hear this constantly from the amazing mothers I work with every single day at Ananya. Madhvi, I haven't slept through the night in years. Madhvi, I can't even go to the bathroom alone. How can I possibly find time for self care? Madhavi, it feels wrong to focus on myself when my child is struggling. Madhavi, who would even watch my child if I didn't take time? Madhavi, I just am too exhausted to even think about adding something else to the already existing schedule. If any of this resonates deep within you, please take a deep breath right now. Exhale slowly. Know that you are seen, you are understood, and you are absolutely unequivocally not alone in feeling this way. The path you walk is extraordinary. It demands immense strength, resilience, patience beyond measure, and a depth of love that is truly profound. You are your child's fiercest advocate, their safe harbor, their primary source of comfort and understanding in a world that doesn't always make sense to them. But this path also takes a significant toll, a toll that is physical, mental, and deeply emotional. Today, I want us to gently challenge the conventional narrative around self care. Let's dismantle the idea that it requires hours of uninterrupted time, expensive spa treatments, elaborate hobbies, or grand gestures. Those things are wonderful if accessible, but they are not the only definition of self care, and certainly not the most realistic one for many mothers in your position. Let's redefine it together. Let's explore what self care can realistically look like within the beautiful, complex reality of your life. Because caring for yourself isn't a luxury you might get to someday, it's a fundamental necessity right now. It's the essential maintenance required to keep your own engine running so you can continue navigating this marathon because it truly is a marathon with the love, stamina, and regulated presence it requires. First, let's be truly honest about why the standard self care advice often feels like it's written for a different planet, maybe even a different species. You read articles or see perfectly curated social media posts suggesting serene yoga retreats, long contemplative walks in nature, quiet evenings, lost in a novel, elaborate bubble baths with candles, or perhaps weekend getaways with friends. And while the idea might sound lovely, the practical reality for you might be light years away. Your reality often involves a complex orchestration of appointments, rushing between speech therapy, occupational therapy, perhaps physiotherapy, or medical consultations. It involves managing intense meltdowns or challenging behaviors that demand your immediate, full attention and require immense emotional regulation from you, often when you feel you have none left to give. It involves advocating tirelessly for your child's educational rights, trying to navigate complex school systems or IEP meetings. It involves decoding medical jargon, researching conditions, worrying about the future, It often involves chronic sleep deprivation, sometimes years of it, that leaves you feeling perpetually foggy and exhausted. It might involve financial strain from therapy costs or reduced working hours. It involves fielding well meaning but often unhelpful advice or facing judgment from strangers, sometimes even family. And amidst all this, you're also managing a household, perhaps other children, maybe a job, and trying to maintain relationships. With such a busy schedule, suggesting activities like massages or pottery classes just isn't helpful. And then there's the guilt. Oh, the guilt. It's a heavy, invisible cape many mothers wear, stitched together with threads of shoulds and not enoughs. The pervasive feeling that every moment not directly focused on your child, tending to their needs, researching therapies, doing recommended activities is a moment wasted, a moment you're failing them. The fear that taking time for yourself, even just 5 minutes, means you're not doing enough, that you're being selfish with your child's struggles. This societal pressure, sometimes subtle in the form of idealized portrayals of motherhood, sometimes overt in comments from others, that suggest a good mother is endlessly self sacrificing. You might compare yourself relentlessly to other mothers who seem to manage effortlessly, forgetting that comparison is often the thief of joy and that we rarely, if ever, see the full, unedited picture of anyone else's struggles. Well meaning friends or family might offer advice like, you just need to relax more, or why don't you get a helper? Advice that minimizes the unique complexities of your situation and can further fuel feelings of inadequacy, frustration, or even resentment. If only it were that simple, you might think. But let's pause again. Let's really sit with this feeling of depletion. Why do you feel so utterly drained, often running on fumes? Why does the idea of adding one more thing, even something supposedly beneficial, like self care, feel like the straw that will break the camel's back? Because you're quite literally running an ultra marathon every single day, often without adequate training, support crew, or rest stops. The constant vigilance required, anticipating needs, preventing meltdowns, ensuring safety is mentally exhausting. The emotional labor involved in managing not only your child's complex needs and emotions, but often the reactions, misunderstandings, and judgments of the outside world is immense. The logistical juggling of appointments, schedules, and medications is full-time job in itself. The advocacy battles, fighting for services, accommodations, and understanding require incredible tenacity and often leave you feeling bruised. It all consumes enormous amounts of physical, mental, and emotional energy. You're constantly pouring from your cup, giving your all. If you don't find ways, however small, however imperfect, to replenish what's being poured out, the cup will inevitably run dry. This isn't about weakness or lack of capability. It's about basic human physiology and emotional capacity. Chronic stress, sustained lack of sleep, and living in a state of constant high alert take a measurable physical toll. They impact your immune system, making you more susceptible to illness. They can disrupt your digestion, affect your hormone levels, and contribute to physical pain like headaches or muscle tension. Your energy levels plummet, your cognitive function, memory, concentration, decision making becomes impaired. Emotionally, burnout is a very real and serious consequence. It often manifests as persistent irritability, deep exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, feeling emotionally detached or numb, difficulty concentrating, a loss of joy or interest in things you once loved, maybe even feelings of hopelessness or resentment. Think again. That oxygen mask analogy on an airplane. In an emergency, the instruction is crystal clear. Secure your own mask first before assisting others, even your precious child. Why? Because if you lose consciousness from lack of oxygen, you're incapable of helping anyone. Self care is your oxygen mask. It is not selfish. It is not indulgence. It is the essential act of ensuring you have the capacity to continue breathing, functioning, thinking clearly, and providing the loving, regulated care your child needs and deserves. When you are operating from a place of depletion, your patience naturally wears thin. Your ability to respond calmly and thoughtfully during challenging moments diminishes significantly. Your stress doesn't just stay within you, it creates ripples, impacting your child's own nervous system and often contributing to their dysregulation and challenging behavior. Children are incredibly attuned to your emotional states. Caring for yourself is therefore fundamentally linked to caring for your child effectively and creating a calmer, more connected family environment. So, let's redefine self care for your unique reality. Let go of the pressure to achieve the picture perfect magazine cover version. Forget the grand gestures for now, unless they genuinely feel feasible and restorative to you. Let's focus instead on micro moments of replenishment. Think small, think manageable, think integration, not addition. These are tiny pockets of time, tiny intentional acts woven into the fabric of your existing demanding day. They are designed to help regulate your own nervous system, provide a brief respite, ground you in the present, and gently remind you that your needs, your well being also matters. What might these micro moments look like in practice? Let's explore practical ways to care for yourself throughout your day. Start with physical grounding. Your body holds stress and needs gentle attention. Take conscious breaths when feeling overwhelmed, making it a habit during daily activities like waiting in line or washing hands. Create small rituals around hydration by using a special cup and adding fresh ingredients. Practice mindful eating, even if just for a few bites, and keep healthy snacks within reach. Find opportunities for movement in your daily routine. Stretching while waiting for the microwave, walking while on calls, or having quick dance breaks with your child. Equally important is tending to your mental and emotional well being. Take brief pauses throughout the day to ground yourself using simple sensory check ins. Notice what you can see, hear, and feel in the present moment. Keep a small journal nearby for quick emotional release, writing just one sentence about your day. Be intentional with social media, following only accounts that uplift you. Practice setting small boundaries, like delaying non urgent responses or taking short periods of unavailability. Make time for a brief but meaningful connections with others, sharing something positive about your day. Create your own sensory comfort toolkit using simple, accessible experiences. Build a playlist of calming or energizing music that you can access for quick mood shifts. Keep soothing scents nearby, whether through essential oils or favorite lotions. Store small treats that you can savor mindfully. Place visual anchors like plants or sun. Place visual anchors like plants or meaningful objects where you can easily see them. Incorporate comforting textures through soft fabrics or smooth stones that you can touch when needed. These small sensory experiences can provide moments of calm and pleasure throughout your day. The key is individualization. What works for me might not work for you. Experiment without pressure. Find your micro moments and focus on integration, weaving these into the small gaps and transitions of your existing day. Don't see it as another task to add, but as a way to slightly shift the quality of moments you already have. Now, let's revisit those significant barriers. When it comes to guilt, remember that this requires ongoing internal work. The key is to actively reframe the narrative. Say positive affirmations out loud if you need to, like, caring for myself allows me to be a better mother, or my well being matters. Remember that you're modeling healthy coping for your child. When guilt creeps in, gently acknowledge it and reaffirm your commitment to self care. Finding other mothers who understand your journey can be invaluable. They become your cheerleaders against guilt. Managing time requires creativity. Think of yourself as a time detective, looking for those small pockets throughout your day. Maybe it's 5 minutes while your child is engaged in an activity, or 10 minutes after they are asleep. Consider your commute time as an opportunity to listen to something restorative. Try bundling self care with necessary tasks like taking deep breaths while washing dishes, remembering that 5 focused minutes is far better than aiming for an hour and never achieving it. Don't hesitate to ask for specific help. Can you handle bath time tonight so I can have 20 minutes alone? Lack of support is often the most challenging barrier to overcome. The first step is being explicit about your needs. Don't assume others know that you need help. Be specific in your requests, whether it's asking someone to chat while you fold the laundry or run for an errand. Look for allies, a teacher, a therapist, relative, even if they are far away, or another parent from a support group. Make the most of whatever support system you have. There are also formal support channels to explore. Your child's therapist or school might offer parent support resources. Online communities can be invaluable too. These virtual connections can help combat isolation and provide understanding from those who truly get it. Finally, consider finding a therapist, even if sessions are infrequent. Having a dedicated space to process your emotional load isn't indulgence. It's a crucial part of maintaining your well being. Every single micro moment of self care you manage creates a tiny positive shift within you. It might make you 1% less reactive, 1% more patient, 1% more present. These small shifts accumulate. Your regulated presence becomes a co regulating force for your child. Your calmer energy influences the entire family dynamic. It's not about achieving perfect Zen, it's about creating slightly more capacity within yourself to handle the inevitable challenges. Parenting your child is a marathon, imprinted with unique hurdles and unexpected terrain. You need hydration stations, fuel, and the moments to catch your breath along the way. Redefine self care as these essential pit stops. Make them micro, make them yours, make them a conscious, non negotiable part of your strategy for sustaining yourself on this journey. Start today, start now. Take one deep breath. Feel where your body makes contact with the chair or floor. Acknowledge the immense love and effort you pour out daily. Now choose one tiny act of kindness towards yourself that you will try to integrate tomorrow. Just one. Drinking a full glass of water first thing. Stretching for 2 minutes while the tea brews. Listening to one song that uplifts your spirits. It's not about adding another burden, it's about offering yourself a lifeline, a small act of replenishment. You are doing incredible essential work. You are your child's anchor. Anchors need care to remain strong. Please extend the same compassion you give so freely to your child back towards yourself. You deserve it, you need it. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Remember, you're doing enough, you're enough. If you're seeking support, understanding, or resources, please visit our website asap.org.in. We offer a range of therapies, assessments, and parent support programs designed to help families navigate this journey. You can also book a consultation at any of our centers. Remember, caring for yourself is a vital part of caring for your family. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself.